The year is 1978, and Palitoy bring you
Action Man!
Now with eagle eyes that actually move.
Only you can create your own Star Wars. Death Star, vehicles, figures, all sold separately. May the Force be with you.
Hello there, welcome to Blue Harvest Toys. On this video I'm going to be remembering a time before Star Wars. Echoing the line from the famous World War I poster, "What did you do in the war, Daddy?" My son asked me, what was it like before Star Wars? This wasn't as strange as it sounds. In fact, so enmeshed it is within the popular culture. The big science fiction things on TV were either Jerry Anderson's Space 1999 or The $6 Million Man, which were good, but not brilliant. Feel free to leave comments below. At the cinema, on the other hand, science fiction films had moved on with more adult audiences and themes. Stanley Kubrick's 2001: A Space Odyssey and the ecological Silent Running were cerebral in both concept and execution. Even children's films had quite high ideas, such as Logan's Run, with its doomed hedonism and the dangers of a totalitarian state. Kids, it would seem, had been largely left behind. The toy scene reflected this, even though arguably both the dinky Eagle Transporter and the $6 Million Man toys were better than the source material they came from. These were the exceptions, as the toy shop shelves were still packed with 1960s runouts. Star Trek, Thunderbirds, Captain Scarlet and the like were all starting to feel like yesterday's toys. The time was right for something new. I first became aware of Star Wars when it was featured on BBC's Newsround, making the headlines for being immediate and a surprise hit with the audiences. Scenes of people queuing up around cinemas in New York certainly piqued my interest. The thing around Star Wars was the plot wasn't new. The characters were all existing archetypes, but, and it's a big but, the production design and concept were nothing like we'd seen before. Production stills sold it to us way before we had ever seen the film. My mother took me to see it, and from that moment on, it was the only thing I ever talked about and the only thing that ever mattered. In the absence of any associated toys, I hoovered up anything I could get my hands on, be it poster magazines, collector specials, or the famous Topps trading cards. My school friends and I, fellow toy enthusiasts, avidly awaited the arrival of the toys. As we now know, the toy industry was caught unawares, so there was a significant lag in the toys being readily available in the shops. Pre-internet, the main channels of communication for kids were TV and comics. Comics were huge, from Beano to Warlord and Looking, there was something for everyone. And in the 1970s, sales were at their peak. It was one of their comics that was first saw an advert for the first Star Wars toys. There were black and white line illustrations rather than photographs. But even so, I remember us vividly standing for ages trying to decipher the copy, which, as I recall, was along the lines of "Be patient, coming soon." I was so excited I didn't think I slept properly for weeks. When news came out that the first figures had arrived, I went straight to my regular toy shop to bag one. However, they were initially a reasonable 99p, but when the rest of the lineup came, the price had jumped up to £1.25. What? I was not impressed. I wasn't the sort of behaviour I expected from the head establishment that supplies firearms to my action man. Of course, in the light of the current values of the figures, I quite understand that this may seem beyond belief. The whole Star Wars saga was a game changer. Films did get bigger, both in use of special effects and the corresponding budgets. The toy market tour was never the same again. The whole template for action figures started here. Ironically for me, it also heralded the beginning of the end for the likes of Action Man. The film merchandising market marched through the 1980s and beyond, which was no bad thing for collectors, including this one. After all, if Steve Austin really was the $6 Million Man, why did he dress in a pink tracksuit like Vicky Pollard from Little Britain? May the toys be with you!